Just because you're a healer doesn't mean you don't need to be held. This is a story about a woman that I love deeply. We began working together in a simple organic exchange. She offered me body work, and in return, I would help open her mind to the Ayurvedic framework, helping her bring greater balance to her mind, body, and emotions. At first, what she thought she needed was more information. She needed to really learn the Ayurvedic framework. She thought she needed more explanations for the physical discomfort and emotional turbulence she was experiencing. But very quickly, it became clear that information wasn't helping her heal. It was actually speeding up her mind and creating more of a problem. So I asked her to slow down, to pretty please trust me and let me guide her without her needing to understand every mechanism, to feel into these concepts instead of analyzing. That's when real conversation emerged, not about her body, but about her love life. She is Kapha by nature, grounded, steady, loving, and deeply nourishing. Stability is her medicine, and so many people benefit from it. Calm is her truth. And again, people just thrive to be around this very transparent, honest woman. But her life choices had pulled her away from that essence, and she felt insecure, scattered, and unwell. She was worried this was going to start getting in the way of her business. The interesting thing was the relationship she was in mirrored those choices perfectly. Her partner carried strong Vata qualities, movement, change, unpredictability. In balance, they could have complemented one another beautifully, but he wasn't balanced, and she was no longer anchored in steadiness. She was trying to extract safety from someone who couldn't offer it, and she wasn't offering it to herself. What she began to see was that this discomfort wasn't from him being wrong. It was coming from her abandoning what she needed in her own heart, in her own mind and body. Month after month, we stayed with this truth. I didn't tell her what to do. I didn't judge her for her choices, and I didn't push an outcome. I just held the space. She thanked me later, not for the advice, not for the answers, but for trusting her enough to let her arrive at her own clarity and to love her all the while she was coming to that clarity. Together, we held a simple truth. As she returned to the grounded self love, one of two things would begin to happen. Either her partner would arise to meet her new stability, or life would naturally make room for someone who could join her. Neither outcome required her to force or to make herself do anything other than become her grounded, beautiful self. What was the hardest for her was seeing that her source of safety was her. She wanted him desperately to be the anchor, but with each boundary she honored, with each choice that aligned her back to herself, her own confidence grew, and it became clear because she stopped circling thoughts that led nowhere. She stopped negotiating her own needs. And today, her relationship supports the life she chooses to live. And even more importantly, she knows that if it ever stops doing so, she will continue forward without collapsing. This is the quiet power of healing, not fixing, not forcing, not controlling, but remembering who you are and choosing accordingly. Even healers need mirrors. Even guides need space to be held. And sometimes the deepest medicine is simply being trusted to come home to your own nature.